Hi everyone, this is Melissa from Time Travel Reads. This is a late mid-month update. I normally would have done this a little earlier, but I've been busy with yard work. I've I have finished a few books so far. I finished Out of Shape, Worthless Loser by Gracie Gold, American Sphinx by Joseph Ellis, The Anglo-Saxons by Marc Morris, and The Island at the Center of the World by Russel Shorto. I'm still in the middle of Becoming Jefferson by Bill Barker and Braiding Sweetgrass by Wall Kimmerer. Unfortunately, I didn't take notes on either Gold's or Ellis's books, so I won't do a full review on either of them. I got about 45 pages into Becoming Jefferson, and I haven't touched it since. It's a good book. I've just been busy with yard work and other stuff this month. I think I'll pick it up again today. I put off Braiding Sweetgrass for the other books, so now I need to get that one done while I'm house sitting at the end of the month. I read Gracie Gold's memoir, For People April. It's about emotional abuse, perfectionism, the pressure to keep up appearances, and eating disorders and figure skating. It's an emotionally intense book that was meant to be a call for better coaching, administration, and parenting within the sport. I'll put a trigger warning for SA on this book. Even though the book wasn't very long, it took me a while to get through because it pulled no punches. It was blunt and it needed to be. I used to skate, and I'm glad I didn't get to a very high level and that my parents didn't push me. They just wanted me to have fun. I listened to American Sphinx mostly in the car with my parents while we drove around Virginia when we went on vacation. We visited Monticello and Montpelier, Jefferson and Madison's homes. I finished up the book after vacation. It was a little dry, but still good. The last few hours were the most interesting to me. I'm starting to see that the South before slavery ended as a collection of petty kingdoms where each plantation was a kingdom with an absolute monarch at its head. Together, those kings made up an oligarchy. In order for America to move forward, that oligarchy had to go away, although I'm not sure it fully ever has, but that oligarchy wouldn't give up its power voluntarily. The North began to understand that, and Jefferson didn't want young Southerners exposed to that sentiment, so he created the University of Virginia as an alternative to Northern universities. I'm thinking this led to increased polarization between North and South because Southern boys were suddenly in an information silo. You could also see how Confederates could feel a claim on Jefferson in his later years as he leaned more towards secession, although Madison claimed that Jefferson could not be claimed by those who wanted to secede. I finished The Anglo-Saxons by Marc Morris. The writing style was hard to focus on. Sometimes it was hard to tell who Morris was talking about. I didn't love the narrator either. I got this as an audiobook. I'm not sure how much I'll remember later. That's disappointing because I was looking forward to this book. The Island at the Center of the World by Russel Shorto, however, was good. I wasn't expecting the Dutch colonists to be clamoring at their government for representation. That had been sold to me as an English trait, but the Dutch colonists sent a lawyer, Vanderdonk, before the Dutch High Court for years asking for the removal of their director and asking for a representative government, asking for the same rights in the colony as people had back home. They actually got the decision they wanted, but it was suddenly reversed, and their lawyer wasn't allowed to go back to America unless he agreed to never practice law or interfere in politics again. Ugh. I didn't realize there was a New Sweden and that New Netherland conquered it. I also didn't know that Manhattan changed hands between the Dutch and the English about 5 times. This caused the colonists to cling to each other almost regardless of former nationality and to certain rights more than to certain rulers. I'm glad I read this one. Now on to Jamestown for my next project book. I'm about to start Jamestown Shipwreck and a New History of America's Origin by Joseph Kelly, and to read it along with Braiding Sweetgrass. It's my May project book, but I may as well start it early since I have a lot to do this coming month. Well, I think that's everything. Happy reading!